Kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City, Arizona at a very late hour. Yes, it is 8 minutes to midnight. I cannot believe I did this. I am, my mind is boggling right now as to how the heck this happened. But I was brushing my teeth, getting ready for bed, and I suddenly thought, wait, did I do my part 2 today? Did I do my evening live? And as I'm brushing my teeth, I had this horrible thought that, no, I did not. And I'm like, yikes. And I knew it was like around 11:30ish. And so, yeah, it was a little later than that. And so I came out here, picked up my phone and had a look, because I've already got my internet shut down for the evening. Computers are shut down, the internet's shut down. So I pick up my phone, I have a look, and I'm like, there's only part 1. Where's part 2? Where's part 2? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm looking at the time and I'm going, I have to get it in before midnight. Otherwise it doesn't count. So, whew. So I am thankful for whatever force just prompted me to remind me, because then that would have been 757 days. Well, 700. Actually, yesterday was 756. Today is day 757. I am on a streak. I am not going to break this streak, even if it means I'm not going to get to bed till midnight. I was late getting to bed anyway, but I've just been journaling and doing my evening devotions and things, and it totally slipped my... because I normally do it around 6 o'clock in the evening, but tonight I was on my mastermind call, which was an incredible call, and so grateful to be on that, because they provide us with such an amazing, safe space to be exactly who we are, and to share things that bother us, and share things that are deep, and to be able to go deep. It's mind-blowing. And we had one of those sessions tonight. That was a nice deep session, and forever grateful for the information that was passed along, the stuff that I got to learn tonight. So that's what I'm grateful for. That's what I'm most grateful for today, is that safe space that we have in the mastermind group. And then I was actually going to go live immediately after the mastermind group, but I was looking at the time and looking outside, and I knew it was going to get dark, and I don't like being outside walking as everyone in the dark. And so I thought, I will do it as soon as I get back. And we're out walking, and I thought, oh, I've got to empty the tanks tonight. So we came back, and I need to empty the tanks, fill up the water tank, because I use the water tank for showers, because when you put the pump on, you get better pressure. Plus the water in there is a lot cooler than the water coming in through the hose as well, and I love having cold showers, which was one thing we talked about tonight, was cold showers and how it inspires you and boosts your immunity and gets you awake and gets the creativity flowing, and a whole bunch of other benefits of cold showers. And one thing I always remember is my very first ice cold shower. Now remember that. Now think of this: 17-year-old, joined the Air Force, was on boot camp. It's a 13-week boot camp. Week 7, it's either 6 or 7, we get taken up into the mountain ranges of the Southern Alps in New Zealand in the middle of winter. They have a base up there that they use for different trainings and stuff, and we got to sleep in those big green military tents. We had one that had 5 of us girls in there. Yeah, we had 5 girls in there, all on cots, in sleeping bags. And we would get waken up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They would wake the girls up first, because we had 15 minutes for all of us girls, and there was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There was 12 of us in the, so it might have been 6 of us in the tent, so we had 2 tents for our, yeah, might have been 6 of us in a tent. We had 12 of us girls. We had 15 minutes to get out of bed and get through the showers before they let the guys come in. So what are the guys doing while we're getting in the showers? They're getting out of bed. They know they've got 15 minutes. They're getting out of bed. They're going and starting, not stoking, but starting the fire to heat the water for the showers. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes for the water to heat up for the showers. Meanwhile, us girls are in the showers there, having ice cold showers, having to, wash the hair and everything in ice cold showers. And the guys are standing outside, and the corporals are yelling at us to get our butts moving and get out of there, because the guys are coming in and they keep counting down the minutes for us. And So yeah, we had ice cold showers in the middle of winter up in the mountain ranges for 5 days. This was 5 days. Oh no, hang on. Oh, sorry, it was 4 days, because on the last, we had 4 days at that campsite. We also did an overnight up into the mountains where we were in the smaller tents. We had 2 people per tent. And the problem was that I was nice and snugly warm in my sleeping bag and everything else. My tent mate was cold, so she would roll over and snuggle up behind me in her sleeping bag. And I kept telling her, get off. Like, I was sweating. I was just so hot, because I'm warm-blooded anyway. And I was like sweating in my sleeping bag because her body heat plus the heat I was generating, it was like a sauna in that tent. And she's going, but I'm so cold. Like, what the heck's wrong with you? You got your sleeping bag. If you're cold, put clothes on. And she was already fully dressed and had like 3 pairs of socks on and all this sort of thing. But her body ran cool, whereas mine ran hot. So she felt the cold a little more. I think that was the right way around. Yeah, because I'm warm blood, on the warm side. And but yeah, so it was, that night away was like, actually I think it might have been 2 nights, or was it 1 night? Might have been 2 nights. I think we're up there for a whole week. We're up there for a whole week, because this was sort of like the midpoint of our recruit course. And when we came back, we got a little more freedom than before we went up. And there were certain things that we didn't have to make bed packs anymore in the morning. And bed packs are, you completely strip the bed down to the mattress, and then you make, with your sheets and your blankets, you make up a box-shaped thing that goes blanket, sheet, and then there's a blanket that wraps the whole thing around. And it has to look square, and everything has to be, like the front of it has to be completely flat, so that they could hold a ruler up to it, and it would be up against the thing, like nice and straight, and had to be square corners. And the only way you could get really good square corners was put hangers in the blankets. But we wonder, and you'd have a competition with the other dorms, and we got told the secret of polishing the floor. Now we have wool blankets, 100% wool blankets, and we were told to use them to help polish the floor. Like, you do all the polish like you normally do, you put the buffer over it, but then you get the blankets out and you put them on the floor, and you go like literally ice skating on the floor. You can tell I'm tired, I'm rambling on different stories. And those floors the next morning were like mirrors. Our bed packs were perfectly done. We lost by this much to the guys because they had actually used hangers in their bed packs to make it just a little more square than ours were. Oh, we were pissed. Our corporal was pissed. I mean, she was praising us for the great job that we had, for the amazing job that we had done and everything else. And she was so upset that the guys cheated and won. But anyway, so after that, we didn't have to make bed packs after we'd been up on our trip on the mountain. But yeah, that was cold showers. That was my introduction to cold showers. And after that week, I was sort of like, cold showers aren't that bad. Occasionally I'll have a hot shower, and those ones I linger in a little long. But usually it's a cold shower because it invigorates you and you get moving. That's the thing, you get moving, and you don't dilly-dally in a cold shower. You get moving. You get in there, get what you get to need done, and get out. So yes, that was one of the things we talked about, was cold showers and how they are. And I'm like, and it was interesting hearing some of the responses that people who have tried the cold showers, and they're all talking about how they had read up on cold showers, and you do a slow start and do this, you do that, and da-da-da-da. And all I can think of was 5 a.m., middle of winter, up in the mountains, getting hauled out of bed to go and have a cold shower to get started for the day. Yeah, there was no such thing as slowly introducing it into your day. It was slammed into it. We were doused in it. It was, we didn't have an option. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. But yeah, that was the cold shower thing. But anyway, so what are you most grateful for today? Like I said, I'm most grateful for my mastermind group, and the fact that it's been made a safe space where we can get in there and we can talk, we can get deep with our feelings, we can get deep on business stuff, and it's just a really great group to work with. Your tell your story question is, besides your parents or your parental figures, so if you didn't have parents around but you had like grandparents or aunts and uncles that raised you, or older siblings that raised you, besides those parental figures, Who are you most grateful? Who were you most grateful for when you were growing up? So what other people in your lives were you most grateful for while growing up? So anyway, that's it from me. It is now 12:02. It still counts because I started it before midnight. Anyway, have a super fantastic, sparkling sleep, snooze, whatever it is. You'll probably see this first thing in the morning or anything, and then I'll be on not long after that. But that is day 757 in the bag. Whew, I'm glad I got prompted to come check to see if I had done it or not. I am beyond tired, and I was brushing my teeth, and it's like, oh, brush my teeth, and then I get to go and crawl into bed. Yes. And then that little voice goes, did you do your live this evening when you got back from your walk? No, I went and emptied my tanks, and I filled up my water tank, and I sat here and I read the book 3 Times Removed, the genealogy mystery one I was telling you about. It was an amazing book. It was incredible. It was awesome. The storyline was good. Kept you in there. Wasn't one that would keep me going from start, where I had to sit down and read it. It was cover to cover. It was one I was able to find breaks and stop and go do other things. But it was a really, really good book. Yeah, it was the way they tied the 3 eras together. So 1883, 1909, and 2015. The way they tied all of those stories together and brought it to a beautiful conclusion was amazing how that was done. So kudos to the writer. I can't wait to read book 2 of the series. He actually has a series. I think there's 5 in the series, I think. But that first book was awesome, and I thought, well, that's the first book. I want to read the next one. So I can't wait to read the next one. So anyway, go have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, morning, whatever it is. Go and enjoy your sleep. Hope you have great dreams tonight. Have a good, restful night. I'm off to bed. Hey, konera. Come on, Zeph.